side of life.
Hi, I'm Harry Marks, and this is Let's All Go to the Lobby, your introduction to the film you're about to watch. Up next is a film noir from 1945 that lacks the violence associated with the genre, but more than makes up for it with family drama and turmoil. From director Michael Curtiz and Warner Brothers, this is Mildred Pierce. Mildred Pierce stars Joan Crawford as the titular mother of aspiring socialite Vita, played by Ann Blyth, and tomboy Kay, played by Joanne Marlowe. The film was based on the novel of the same name by James M. Cain, who had also written The Postman Always Rings Twice and Double Indemnity. Contrary to Christina Crawford's autobiography and the adapted 1981 biopic Mommy Dearest, which depicted her adoptive mother's abusive behavior, the character of Mildred Pierce actually does her best to be a good mother to her two daughters, but fails as she is beset by the loss of one child and the shunning from another for not being of a certain social class. Director Michael Curtiz was hesitant to work with Crawford as he had heard how difficult she could be on set. He'd wanted to cast Barbara Stanwyck as Mildred, but quickly changed his tune after seeing Crawford's screen test with Ann Blyth. And the more he watched her work, the more his respect for her as an actress grew. She was a professional who was dedicated to her craft. This can be seen in the staircase scene where Crawford tears up the check and Ann Blyth slaps her across the face. Crawford had told her co-star to slap her for real before the cameras started rolling. But that didn't mean Curtiz and Crawford didn't get into it behind the scenes. They fought so often and so fiercely, producer Jerry Wald would step in as mediator to calm them down. One big point of contention was Crawford's altering of her costumes. Her clothes were all store-bought, meant to convey her working-class background, but she kept having her assistant modify them against the director's wishes. Curtiz also made fun of her trademark shoulder pads, a joke that would come back to haunt him after filming had wrapped. By the time production concluded, Crawford and Curtiz had put their animosity behind them, and she gifted him a pair of oversized shoulder pads as a joke. Joan Crawford fought hard to play Mildred Pierce, despite the role being passed on by the likes of her rival Bette Davis. Other actresses considered for the role were Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaine, but the latter were too young to convincingly play mother to a teenage daughter. In fact, many of the actresses offered the part passed on it for fear of playing an older character, but not Crawford. She'd already had a number of flops at MGM and didn't care about the public perception. She knew this would be the role of her career, and in a way, it was. The film opened to great success, with critics highlighting Crawford's performance as the film's highlight, while jeering the soapy, melodramatic plot that surrounded her. Still, Mildred Pierce earned an impressive 6 Oscar nominations in 1946, including Best Picture and Best Screenplay, but its sole win went to Crawford herself for Best Actress, the only Oscar of her career. And so from Warner Brothers in 1945, also starring Jack Carson, Ann Blyth, Eve Arden, and directed by Michael Curtiz, here's Joan Crawford in Mildred Pierce.